Welcome, everybody. Joseph Robert, the Fantasy Football Counselor. We're doing the Monday Night Football Throwdown here. We got a huge game tonight. We're talking Saints. We're talking Raiders. And I've got the Raiders ambassador here and Zach covering the Saints. We got Saints. We got ambassador for both these guys covering the matchup, breaking it down. Now, I'm excited because I've got fantasy implications here. I need a ton of points this week from both Jared Cook and, of course, my guy, the guy that I've been promoting all offseason, Josh Jacobs, coming off in a phenomenal week one. So I want to break this down. So I'm going to introduce our Raiders man, Darian. What is going on? Oh, we went over to Zach first. So Darian, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What is going on, Raider Nation? We are in the building. It is exciting tonight. We're finally home in our brand new, beautiful stadium against the New Orleans Saints. I am excited for this showdown. I am excited for this game. Let's go.
Man, I'm beyond excited. So expectations here, matchup. Let's talk about expectations. What are you expecting out of the Raiders? I know that's a loaded question here. What are some expectations for this matchup?
Expectations is just what we did last week, is establish the run. That is my biggest thing there, because it helps out Derek Carr when you have an established running game.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to seeing Derek Carr sling the football a little bit more in this game after establishing the run. I understand that Josh Jacobs had 3 touchdowns last week, but you got to think about it. Derek Carr does have an arm. And last time he did play the Saints was in 2016. He did beat them in New Orleans with most likely there's a similar team from that 2016 team.
Right.
So I'm looking to see Derek Carr sling it a little bit more in this new stadium and establish the run. And another thing I'm expecting is our defense to play a little bit better. Yes, we do have some injuries from Amik Robinson being inactive and Nick Kowalski, our linebacker, being inactive. But I feel like we still can go blow for blow with this New Orleans Saints football team. So I'm looking for our defense, establish the run, and Derek Carr to throw the ball a little bit more.
All right, so I'm a little bit concerned here about your receivers. Obviously, young receivers. We just heard Ruggs is playing. You also have some young corners. How are they going to stack up against a little more of a veteran team with the Saints?
I think it just has to be communication in the backfield. It has to be communication on that back end to make sure who has who. Yes, we have no veterans back there, but at the same time, I think we're talented. I think we're fast, and I think our line, once our front seven can get to the quarterback, or our front seven can definitely bring some blitzes and stuff, it will help out our back end a little bit more. So it really starts from that defensive line getting pressure, and then it helps us out in the back end. So I'm looking forward to seeing the challenge. They really got to be up to the challenge because they're young. Like I said, Amik Robinson is inactive. He was our rookie, but Damon Arnett was good last week. And our second-year player, Trayvon Mullen, he was good last week too. I mean, he only gave up one big play, but other than that, I think we're pretty solid back there. I think that a lot of people are going to be afraid of Jonathan Abram, knowing that he hits really hard coming down on the running game.
Yeah, I got some people in the comments. Kai saying New Orleans Saints for the win. So, Zach, do you want to jump on here? We're going to get back to you, Darian, in a second. We got more questions. Zach, what are your thoughts here on the Saints winning this thing?
I think the Saints are going to win this game. I think it's going to be a closer matchup than a lot of people are expecting. I saw that the Vegas odds is a 5.5 favor for the Saints, and a majority of the people were voting for the over. Right. I don't necessarily know if the over is a better pick there. It's going to be a close game. Derek Carr is definitely going to surprise some people, but obviously I think the Saints are going to win this game. I think they have to definitely establish Alvin Kamara this week. He got out-carried last week by Latavius Murray, and I don't think that's the best way for the Saints to win. Kamara is 100% the better running back there, right, but he's also going to be utilized in the passing game more this week, especially with the absence of Michael Thomas. I think guys like Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook, and Alvin Kamara are all going to see more targets with the absence of Michael Thomas. And one name to keep your eye out for is Deontay Harris. I know that the Saints really want to get him involved in the passing game more. He's been a great returner for them, and I think with the absence of Thomas there, he could get his extra playing time, and he can be a big play guy.
Yeah, man, it's going to be an interesting matchup. This is one I will be watching. Hopefully it's as entertaining as the Seahawks and the Patriots yesterday. That was a good one as well. I want to just go off on two quick tangents. Number one, guys, this is Monday Night Football Throwdown, so we're only going to be featuring the brand ambassadors for those respective teams moving forward. So a lot of people asking where Paws Up is, Big Cat. He's not here today, guys, because the Panthers aren't playing right now, so we're only focusing on the matchup. But I want to just go off on a quick tangent here, and I want to talk a little bit about, let's start off with Zach here, about those injuries, man. I mean, it was crazy. Let's just talk about that real quick. I mean, everybody from Saquon to CMC to George Kittle, I mean, that was prior the injury. Michael Thomas, all these studs just not playing week 2 was absolutely crazy. Everybody was going down. Any key injuries that you really think are going to be huge, aside from CMC and Saquon, that are going to be huge disadvantages team losing those players that stand out to you, and anything else you want to add in on the injuries, and we'll get Darian's opinion as well.
Two teams I think are going to really suffer with these injuries are going to be the Broncos because they lost Drew Lock and they also lost Cortland Sutton for the year. So there's two huge losses. They're already without Von Miller.
Right.
So that's going to suck for them. And then another team I think is absolutely struggling with injuries is the 49ers. They lost Nick Bosa. They lost Solomon Thomas. They're without Jimmy Garoppolo. He's week to week. They're without Raheem Mostert. They're without George Kittle. They have 5 wide receivers on IR. So the injuries are really going to play a factor in this year, especially without the preseason and all the regular training camps. And it's just leading to guys getting injured. And honestly, there's going to see some surprise teams in the playoffs that just got in the playoffs because they were healthy all year. And you're going to see some teams have big injuries and they're going to fall because of it.
Darian, what are your thoughts? What was it aside from Saquon and CMC, which is the obvious? Darian, is there any injuries that you really caught your attention? Like, wow, I can't believe that just happened.
Honestly, I have to say it, but it was Michael Thomas because that's the number one target for Drew Brees and Bruce Irvin going down for that Seattle defense. That was a big one. That was a big blow, knowing that he had a career year with Carolina last year with almost 8 to 10 sacks. And now that's going to be off your Seattle Seahawks team. That's going to really hurt them down the long run because they know they built their team through their defense and Russell Wilson on the offensive side. So for me, yeah, CMC, Saquon, that's big. But is their starting center for the 49ers. That's going to hurt them as well.
Right.
So that's a lot of injuries that had happened in this past week. But yeah, I think Michael Thomas is a big one for Drew Brees. That is really a big one right there.
That's crazy. I want to switch gears here to fantasy football here, and then I'm going to get you guys to give me your stat line prediction of the final score for tonight. Fantasy perspective, expectations in regards to volume, possible touchdowns for guys like Josh Jacobs. Is Henry Ruggs going to get involved? Where is Derek Carr looking? Are they going to be focused more on the running game, more of the passing game? How do you see this playing out from a fantasy perspective? Who thrives this week?
It's still going to be Josh Jacobs that's going to thrive this week because John Gruden, like we said, he loves to run the football. We seen it last week. He had about 25 carries last week. 25 to 27 carries last week, almost 100 yards and three rushing touchdowns. So they're going to try to do as much as they can to get Josh Jacobs the football. Now, you did see a little bit of Jalen Richard, and you did see a little bit of Devontae Booker as well. But for fantasy-wise, you're going to see Josh Jacobs take the carries, and he's going to, Derek Carr's going to do what he does when it comes to throwing the football. But fantasy-wise, Josh Jacobs is the way to go if you want to establish the run and win the football game.
That's great, man. Zach, what about you, man? Are we looking for Jared Cook? I need a big game out of Jared Cook.
Jared Cook, I think he's going to have a good game. He's definitely got the touchdown upside there, and he's got the rapport with Drew Brees. With Michael Thomas being out, he's going to see the extra targets. Alvin Kamara, I think, is going to have a big game as well. One thing I will note for Josh Jacobs is the Saints haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher for 44 straight games. So I think he will probably get a touchdown and he'll still have a good game, but I don't think he's going to have 150 yards or anything like that. He's just going to have like a game probably around 80 to 90 yards, just like he did last week.
Right.
And then he definitely won't have the 3 touchdowns, I don't think, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be – and then that's pretty much it for fantasy-wise. Drew Brees, he didn't play great last week, but he did enough to win the game, obviously.
Right.
I think he's going to struggle with the loss of Michael Thomas, but Yeah.
That's a fair assessment. Now, I got to ask you, be honest here, keep the bias out of it. What's the final score of this game? I think the Raiders, I think they're going to they're going to put up a fight here. I just want to get your final score here.
You want to take it? You want to take it, Zach? Since I'm the home team, you want to take it, bro?
I'll take it first. I think it's going to be 31 to probably around 24, 27-ish.
All right. For who? Saints?
For the Saints.
Okay.
One thing I will note, just a little fun fact about the Raiders. This will be their third time opening a new stadium.
Right.
And the other two times, they're 2-0 when opening a new stadium. So they're trying to make it 3-0 tonight. I don't think it'll happen, but if they do, they'll be 3-0 opening new stadiums for their team.
Wow, okay.
That was a stat that I was going to bring up. That was a stat I was going to bring up. You know, when it comes to meeting the last meeting that we did beat them at their home in the Big Easy. Mind you, that team was totally different for the Raiders, but we still got Derek Carr at the same time. I say this game is going to be 31-27 Raiders, just because we can put up the points. We did it last week. Understanding that, I don't say Carolina's defense is not the New Orleans Saints defense, but you can see what we did against Christian McCaffrey last week. He didn't get 100. He got close to 100 rushing yards, but he didn't get 100 rushing yards. So I think we could keep Alvin Kamara from getting 100 rushing yards. Just that we just got to make sure that we can defend him in the passing game. So I say 31-27 Raiders over the Saints.
Wow, great prediction here. Any last comments on your team tonight, Darian?
Just win, baby.
That's it. I like the confidence.
Listen, our home opener is going to be awesome. When y'all see that beautiful stadium, I don't know if the Saints is going to be ready to walk into that stadium and call it the Death Star. They don't want that. They don't want that. Come on.
I mean, for the Saints, it's a good thing there is going to be no fans in the stadium there, because that's going to be a loud stadium, especially for the opening. So it's a good thing for them there.
They got it. They got lucky this year. They got lucky this year because we would have had that thing rocking.
All right.
But yeah, I think the Saints, they got to feed Kamara, and then Emmanuel Sanders is going to have to step up big. And I'm starting him in fantasy. I think he's going to have a great game tonight.
And that's my only problem with Emmanuel Sanders, because he's never been a number one receiver. Now let's see if he could do it on the bright lights in the Death Star.
No, I'm not sold. Yeah. He's not. He's just not that good. He's always been a B guy. He's never been. He's been
a great number 2 guy. He's never been that great number 1 receiver.
He never will be.
He's going to have to step up into that role.
Let's see if he could do it in the bright lights of being a number 1 receiver. Let's see if he can do that.
I highly doubt it. So I really do. I think the Raiders take this one, and no score prediction. But again, there's a little bias here. I'm a Jacobs guy through and through this year, and I'm rooting for the Raiders this one, unfortunately for you, Zach. So let's go Raiders, Raider Nation. Where's my Raiders hat?
Where y'all at in the chat? Where y'all at? Make sure y'all put hashtag Raider Nation in the chat. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right. Unfortunately, today Big Cat wasn't here. I'd have you guys going at it again. Zach's too much of a nice guy, but if Big Cat was here, we'd have the pause up again. It would be pause up. I keep doing the
Big Cat
Queen
can't say nothing to me until we play them again. I already got the bragging rights.
you laid it in, and you gave him a piece of humble pie when he came back for the last show, so that was great. Mm-hmm. We got Nature Boy in the comments going, Nature Boy Tommy Walker saying Raiders suck ass! ! That's not a nice, Nature Boy. He's a Twitch guy.
He's probably a Denver Broncos fan. He's probably a Donkey fan. He's probably a Donkey fan.
He's probably sitting there curled up in a ball crying that he lost Sutton and Drew Lock right now. That's probably it. But he's also saying Big Cat for president. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. We got to nominate Big Cat for president. I like that. All right, man. That's great.
We can see that happening.
All right, listen. So thank you guys, Darian, Zach, Raiders. We got a huge matchup today. Let's get excited for it. Monday Night Football, guys. Fan to Fan Network. Make sure you guys follow fantofannetwork.com for all your latest news and notes on everything sports and NFL football from the top influencers.
Thing just in here, Nick Bosa officially tore his ACL. He is out for the remainder of the season.
Wow.
Just reported now.
Wow. That's
a huge blow for the 49ers defense there.
That's terrible. Not a good way to end this show, but I mean,
no.
This is 2020 for you guys. What do you expect? All right, man. Hopefully we have a healthy game, no injuries. All right, let's just have a healthy game, fingers crossed, and leave last week in the past. But I'm going to tell you, man, this was honestly like the week. I've never seen so many injuries in 1 week. To such key players, too, to boot. I mean, that was unreal. So, all right, Zach, thank you guys. Darian, appreciate it as always. We are out.
Go Saints!
Go Raiders. All right, we'll talk soon, guys. Enjoy